This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience. Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we are going to be reviewing, talking about, discussing an interesting topic, Hermes. It's always a topic that a lot of luxury YouTubers and luxury peeps really like to talk about. And also a lot of luxury YouTubers like to make videos about Hermes. We got the crop, the Hermes crop ready. The video we're going to talk about today is made by Alyssa Lenore. Now, the title of her video is HERMES Lottery Appointment Experience in Paris. Alyssa, darling, would you like to come in? Ah, here you go, sweetie. So be sure to check out Alyssa's video. I shall post a link to Alyssa's video in the description box down below. So check out her original video, send her some love, subscribe to her channel. And Alyssa, thank you so much for the content. We're going to see what you got to say about Hermes. So Alyssa wanted an Hermes bag. She wanted a Kelly or a Birkin. It doesn't matter really. I mean, you know. Anyway, she traveled to Paris. Did she say with her husband or boyfriend? I think husband. Alyssa, sorry if it's your boyfriend, not husband, but I think you said husband in your video. And she kind of walks us through the process of getting that lottery appointment. Now, we've heard this before. I've talked about it on my channel. In particular, a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to post a link up above with a friend of mine, Claire Vernel from Paris, who described her Hermes journey as well. And then I spoke to my other friend, Laura, the CC Spy, who played that lottery to get an appointment, but I think they didn't give her one. So it's kind of funny how they do this lottery system. So Alyssa is just yet another one of the many luxury YouTubers who tried to get an appointment. Now, she describes in her video the fact that, oh, it's a fiancé, c'est Sobe? Okay, so it's Alyssa's fiancé. Thank you for correcting. Thank you so much for that. Alyssa's fiancé. So, Michelle says, oh my God, don't give spoilers, please. Well, I gotta give you spoilers. We're talking about the video. So she's in Paris. She applies for the lottery. That Hermes has a system like that. But anyway, so she says, you know, it's the only real way to kind of be able to purchase one of these special bags without having to have a purchase history. So you go to the boutiques, you say, oh, can I come in? I want a bag. And they're like, no. Here's a QR code, scan it. It's going to open the page of the lottery. You can apply there with your name. They want your name, your surname, your passport number. I'm thinking to myself, is it even legal that these brands ask for such intimate information about your personhood? I don't think that's, well, apparently I guess it's not illegal to ask for it. You don't have to give it to them. But the fact that you have to give it to them first before they can even let you play the lottery is kind of sketchy to me. But anyway, so she did that. She filled out the form. You're allowed to do it once a day per one name and one passport. So she let the fiance also do it. So they were both playing. She said that the day that she arrived to Paris, she checked out the 3 Hermes boutiques. One of the 3 Hermes boutiques was very close, right next door to her hotel. But the boutique that actually has that big lottery was in Faubourg Saint-Honoré, I guess. So anyway, she plays the lottery. She didn't get it. The next day, she played it again. I don't know if she got it on the second or the third try, but she did get an appointment. She won the lottery. So the first step was done. What happened then? Well, first, thumb up this video and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, and let the algorithm know that we're doing something good here. You can also push the join button next to the subscription button and become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob all spelled together on Patreon. Thank you for all my patrons and members who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a virtual audience. You've already noticed watching until now. I am reading some of the chats. you can partake too in every live stream. I live stream every Saturday. That's where we record all of these videos live that you then subsequently watch on my channel in the following week or weeks. So thank you to all my co-conspirators in the chats here. The CC Spy, aka Laura. By the way, go follow her on Instagram. Has a wonderful Instagram profile dedicated to her Chanel collection. Laura played the lottery and lost. As one does, and as one loses. So, but some people do win. So Alyssa won after her second or third trial. So she describes her journey in the boutique, and of course she managed to sneak in some photos as well, which is great because we rarely see the photos of the people that are taken into the back rooms where they are offered a bag. So her fiance and her are there. She took a photo of her. I think her fiance was sitting at a table. So she's describing this scenario as like, so from the boutique they usher you into a separate space. It's like a waiting room at a doctor's office, really, where you sit down with the person and they're like, what can I do for you today? And then you have to describe what you want. And they already test the grounds, because if you don't know the names of your leathers, if you don't know the names of the colors of those weird names of colors that Hermes has, I think they already kind of source you out as like not being serious enough. So you gotta learn your shit before you go there. You gotta like really know what you're talking about, right? You got to know the sizes of the bags. You got to know the names of the leathers, the names of the ones with the stitches, without the stitches, and yada, yada. So she was very specific about what she wanted. So in that first room where they took her to, sat at that table that was there just for them, she described very specific bags she wanted. Unfortunately for her, it's a very desirable bag. She wanted gold leather, which is kind of a honey brown, gold leather, gold hardware. Or then she wanted, I don't know, something else. Then she wanted a Kelly in a specific size. She didn't want to go too big on the Kelly. She didn't want to go too small on the Birkin. Anyway, so the sales associate said, let me see what I can do, and goes away. And then she said that the sales associate was gone for about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. At this point, I'm like, okay, girl, first of all, you're losing your entire trip. I don't know if you're in Paris for business or for pleasure, but you've been torturing yourself with trying to get an appointment for 3 days or 2 days. You've already wasted so much time on this. Now you're sitting there hoping that they're going to have some sort of resemblance of a bag that you want. You're spending another 40 minutes waiting. I can't stand this Hermes games. I really can't. But anyway, she can, and she did. Now, this salesperson comes back and says, okay, follow me to an even more secret room. And then they stood up from the table. They were taken into an even tighter, more reclusive room where they were secretly shown a bag. And it was some colorway she did not want. I think blue or green, 28 Kelly, or was it a 30 something? It was too big. The color wasn't right. It's not what she wanted. And then she said, thank you so much. And Alyssa, I applaud you for this, girl, because it's not that you just said, okay, well, whatever they give me, I'm going to take. No, she stood her ground. And this is what makes her video different than the video of many others, because she actually had the power in her to say, you know what, Hermes people, thank you, but no thank you. So she said no to the bag. And the sales associate maybe was also like, oh, she dared say no to a Kelly or a Birkin. I respect her a bit more now, the sales associate might have thought. And then said, well, is there anything else you might want? And then she said, well, maybe another bag. There was another bag that she wanted. I wonder which one it was. I forget now. I forget their names. It was the one that has the two handles on the sides. It folds up. Really ugly bag, by the way. So anyway, the audacity, says Michelle. Oh my gosh, brain fart. I can't remember. I can't remember any more than that. Anyway, so I want to call the bag Emily, but it's not Emily. Somebody in the chats you probably know. You know the one that has the Lindy. Thank you, Susie Q. The Lindy. So they brought her a Lindy. She saw it again. The color and the leather were not it. She's like, you know what? Thank you so much. She literally left the store without buying anything. I say, I applaud you with my Hermes crop, which I just call orange leather. This could be goat, but I don't know. I don't care. I just like it for what it is. But anyway, so she left, and and lived to tell the tale. And she's now at home telling us the story. And then she said, well, at least the next day, the boutique that was next to my hotel had a little something, a little belt buckle. She was looking for something, so just a little something that she bought. She said, well, that's what I bought. That's it. But then she said, but then I came back home and I found on the secondhand market, I used Birkin, gold with gold hardware, size 30 or 35, a bit bigger. She's like, it's not what I was looking for, but now that I got it, it's actually really good. And then she gave us a tip. So 2 things to take away from this video that are important for me personally. One is that there is still hope out there in terms of luxury YouTubers that actually stand their ground and are not total victims to Hermes. Alyssa, applause to you for saying no to that bag or to those bags and for leaving the boutique without buying. And Alyssa has a substantial following on YouTube, you know, so she, I don't know financial situations of people, but she could have afforded to just buy that bag and call it a day. Peanuts. Well, it's never peanuts, but you know what I mean? She could also, you could resell it. But no, she stood her ground. So I take that away, that there's still hope in the luxury community. There are people out there that actually do not sell their soul to the Hermes devil. And the second point I take away from this video is what she said about bigger Birkins, meaning secondhand market. She said at the moment, it is interesting to note that if you don't want the 25, 20, the smaller Birkins, if you go for a 30, 35, on the secondhand market, you can find your dream color and leather materials oftentimes for less than their retail price in the boutique. So she said that she found her gold on gold Birkin, size 30 or 30, something 30 or over 30, for less than what it costs in the boutique. And she said, for the smaller bags, they're going to cost you way more than their actual retail price. But for the bigger bags, you can find them at cheaper than retail price. Which brings me, so that's the second point I took away. It's like, interesting. So the prices are really going down in certain cases for certain bags, which brings me to the point of the other video I made last week, link in the comment section up above, about the fact that Hermes is no longer, but this is something that The Real stated in their research on what they're reselling the most on their website. So you could check that on my video. But they stated that Hermes is no longer in the top 5 requested resell items or brands out there. Isn't that fascinating? Also, what's so fascinating, my Halloween merch, get it now. It's only available for a limited time, only until the 31st of October. The FOMO Halloween merch and the Fashion Bunker. By the way, look at the crop that my skeleton is holding. It's this one here. So there's a lot of Easter eggs hiding in this little Fashion Bunker skeleton. Just saying. Fashion Bunker designs. Okay. The fact that Hermes is kind of losing ground in the secondhand market, price-wise, if we can get bags, Birkins and Kellys, at lower cost than retail, and mind you, her bag was a very requested color. Gold on gold hardware. She showed it on the video, said, this is in really good condition. It doesn't have scratches. It's not beat up. It's not too old. Like, we're talking a bag that could have sold for over retail. It didn't. It sold for under retail. So that's another thing to take away from it. Is it authentic or not? She says it's authentic. She says it's been authenticated. We'll never know. The only way you can really know is if you buy directly from the boutique. The second you start buying secondhand, it's always kind of a Russian roulette, I want to call it. But I'm glad that she, with her big following, still said, guys, stand your ground. You don't have to say yes to whatever these brands churn out at you. Kudos to you, Alyssa. I'm proud of you. So that's all I wanted to say. Let me get to your chats. Old Palm City says, I got in right in time for my favorite subject, LOL. Yes, you did. Susie Q says, Alyssa's videos are great. Holy Grace says, I'm holding out for buying a Birkin or Kelly until I am sure that I actually love the bag and not the hype status. I am not sure right now, to be honest. I could be influenced. Yes. And also something to be said. Now, we're not going to go into racial profiling or anything like that, but just by analyzing facts, when it comes to the female community buying Hermes or Birkins or Kellys, what I have noticed in the luxury YouTube community, it's usually the Asian luxury YouTubers that really make a lot of videos about Hermes bags in general, but mostly Kellys and Birkins, Lindy's as well, and Constance as well. But it seems to be more a cultural phenomenon to own one of these bags and to show these bags and to make videos about these bags in that particular culture. Now, Asia is not a culture in itself. Every country has its own culture, has its own heritage or tradition, but the most amount of videos that I've seen dedicated to Kellys and Birkins come from Asian luxury YouTubers. And the few female, and the few male YouTubers that I've seen, luxury YouTubers that I've seen talk about Hermes, that's a different story. It's a very small percentage of men that really go for Hermes, and when they do, they are a particular type of person. In that case, I've seen mostly Caucasian men do it. But when it comes to the ladies, mostly Asian. Now, Holy Grace says true, Dacob. Now, I'm not trying to point fingers at nobody. I'm just stating facts here. The videos that I've seen thus far, the obsession with Hermes, and a more type of passive acceptance of the Hermes journey usually comes from the Asian customer. So I'm thinking, if this is not something that Hermes has developed strategically, this whole journey system, for that type of customer, because they seem to be more acceptant of the rules that the brands deliver in terms of before you get a chance to purchase something, you know. And this is why I also think that in particular in Europe, also in the States, in New York in particular, it's easier to score these bags without purchase history. London as well, the UK as well. UK used to be Europe, but whatever, UK and Europe. There's less of this desperation to get one of these bags. It's more like whatever. You go to the, you know, Birkin, Kelly, yeah, okay. I love it. Got it. Great. Thank you. Done. Not a big deal is being made of it. I think a bigger deal is being made of it in certain communities. And in fact, the video that we're analyzing today is from Alyssa, also interesting to point out. So absolutely fascinating, says Leslie. Thank you, but I also think it's because of the resale value, says Leslie. Sure, Bim Black says it's a status thing and peer pressure to get an Hermes bag after 30. You mean in some Asian countries, Bim Black, or around the world anywhere? Holy Grace says, true, Dacob. Susie Q says the thing is that people are going for the Birkin 25, Kelly 25, and Kelly Mini are the bags in demand, and that's why I bought my Birkin 30, 35, and 40 from Fashion File. Also, didn't have to play any games. Susie Q, did you get it under retail or above retail? Pixel says it's the dollar conversion. Once you convert to Asian money, very, very few Asians can afford the bags. Holy Grace says, yes, they do accept the rules and enjoy the process seemingly. There's lots of status display in Singapore, Bangkok, and China. Bim Black says, yes, in China and Japan. Bim Black responding to it's a status thing and peer pressure to get an Hermes bag after 30 in China and Japan. So it is a cultural phenomenon. And so as such, it's becoming more clear to me. You see, I am on my Hermes journey as well. My Hermes journey is not towards purchasing Kelly or Birkin. My Hermes journey is towards understanding how it functions from country to country, from culture to culture, because I love these dynamics. Not that I approve of these dynamics. I love analyzing them. I love understanding things. I love to see how mechanisms work. And I'm seeing a pattern here, okay? When it comes to certain countries and certain luxury YouTubers really needing it so much and desiring it and coveting it so much, as opposed to others that just couldn't give two farts for it. This is very fascinating. Susie Q says all of them under retail and in great condition. Oh, congratulations, Susie Q. Congratulations. Leslie says, I think the Birkin is really a male bag. It speaks to the aesthetic of a guy. It's heavy, it's big. I don't know. I'm not a guy, but I think it looks better on a larger frame. Leslie, I kind of agree with you. It's a chunky type of bag. It's almost like a saddle bag. Not that it's a saddle bag that falls over the saddle, but it feels like, and in fact, I think it was born originally as a bag for the stables. So it makes sense what you're saying. The aesthetic of that bag, the inception of the bag is very much, it has that chunkiness about it. But Leslie, as you're saying this, you're kind of starting to sell me on the Birkin though. Nasty Leslie. You're starting to sell me on the Birkin. Holy Grace says, I think I will pass. I can appreciate the Birkin and Kelly from afar. My career and life is about to change. So such an expensive bag won't make sense in my life anymore. Holy Grace says, men look great with Birkins. Good night all, says Pixel Hexes. Thanks for all the Saturday night. Thank you too. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, thumb it up. By the way, take it with a grain of salt. I'm just trying to analyze here and understand the dynamic. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I am not trying to say, oh my God, how dare you fall for this or that. I'm trying to understand if there's a pattern somewhere. This is a conversation. This is not truth. This is just an observation that I'm making after seeing so many videos on the subject from so many different luxury YouTube creators. So it's a conversation to be had. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love and subscribe to my channel. Bye.